Hello, everybody. This Buddy here in Midland. I'm gonna do a real short video for you today, and lately, what I've been posting is evidence showing that Midland police officers were at or inside my home just minutes after I was ambushed and shot, and based on this evidence, it placed Lieutenant Dickey inside my home at 11:05, but he wasn't seen arriving on the cameras out front that had recorded Naylor and Woodward arriving 4 minutes earlier. Okay, and there was no other entries in my home. All my doors were padlocked shut. My windows were screwed together. I was trying to figure out how these criminals were breaking my home and not realizing they were coming from under my home. But that's what told me that Dickey and there was four others: Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and Hale. That's how they got in my home, was from under my house on the now removed trap door that the ex-wife had already told me about, and from where the evidence shows I was ambushed and shot from. And so most people would automatically think, oh, it looks like police sneaked into your home and tried to murder you. And then that's very possibly what happened, you know. And I mean, we can place them there minutes after I shot. They come from under my home. I shot, and then just unprecedented cover up, illegally withholding the police report and looking the other way while hundreds and thousands of felonies are committed against me. My life's threatened, death threats, people breaking in my home, and then their friends coming to me going, I'd sell that home if I was you, while they're trying to terrorize me from my home because it's going to, expose the underground homes, the parties, the murder of the last homeowner, the murder of the girl at the oil show party, who knows how many other murders, all the other crime, all the other homes that are rigged like this one. It's a can of worms is what it is. But maybe them police didn't shoot me. I mean, they were here. We can put them here in my house, coming from under my home 20 minutes later, but that doesn't mean they pulled the trigger. We don't know who pulled the trigger. And I want to name this video The Shooter. And here's a story I was told, and I'm just going to get right into it. A woman told me her boyfriend said that he told her that him and his friend shot somebody in Midland. That's right. And so here it is right here. Heather Odonnell said, when Donnie, Cobb was his name, was drunk, he and his friend shot a guy. And I said, in Hobbs? And she replied back, in Midland. Okay. And so it's one thing for me to tell you that Heather Odonnell told me he shot somebody. It's another when I show you the print screen that I took. So it's not my, he said, she said. Heather Odonnell said this, period. Okay. And she also said he tried to kill me with drugs, and I was like, I believe you. I got away and went straight to the hospital. So there should be a record of that. His name is Donnie Cobb, okay? And so I Googled it, whatever, and I found it. Is this the guy? And then she sends this picture right here, and that's what he looks like. And then something about Messenger, and I said, was he related to any other Cobbs from Hobbs? And and I think there was a mayor over there that was a Cobb or whatever. But she says, I don't know, but I do know Ryan Cobb as well. I think this is a sex trafficking ring, and I thought that was real interesting because I've long suspected this was connected to human trafficking and sex trafficking. Okay, and I said, yes, it is. I think that Ryan Cobb's mom is named Lisa Rogers from here, okay? And she says, I have hid in my house so many nights. Oh my God, I know Laura Rogers. And I said, and she told me, and I'm talking Lisa Rogers. I said, and she told me that I was shot with a .45 handgun, which is big because the lie was that I shot myself with my own gun, which was a shotgun, and that's not what happened. I wondered if her son was here, and that's how she knew that I was shot with a .45. Lisa Rogers, I have it, and once again, a print screen, Lisa Rogers, telling me you're not disabled from being shot with a .45, and and the .45 actually fits the evidence, and the evidence fits, and so I believe that she was telling the truth, and that was it. But anyways, she has a son named Cobb from Hobbs, I think Ryan Cobb, whatever, and so that's where I was trying to figure out if they're related or whatever. Okay. Anyway, this is where she says, when Donnie was drunk, he and his friend shot a guy. I said, in Hobbs, because I didn't know where she's talking about. She's from Hobbs, and she said Midland, and I said, who was his friends, and she never gave me the friend, and then the conversation went on. I even made a video about that. Okay, and here my next comment, I said, Heather contacted me last year and told me that she was hearing things in the attic of her home in Hobbs, with the huge number of homes now documented reporting these crimes. Then I believed her. Okay, and so that is my hometown, you know, and here Heather Odonnell, showing 11 mutual friends. I've been hearing things in my attic. And I sent her one of the many videos. I have police scanner videos of people being reported in the attic. And thank you so much. And so I'm telling her, you're not the only one, you know, because that's one thing this crime ring does, is try to isolate you, make you, call you crazy and going, oh yeah, you know, and doesn't tell you that it's going on all over the place, you know, and you know that, and it's definitely more than one person. Okay. And she also told me that I was looking up the address of the home on Sunset, and she told me her mom was her landlord and called me crazy, that her mom called her crazy. And then she did offer to meet me at the police station there in Hobbs, which I haven't taken her up on that yet, but I did turn in. I submitted her information to Sheriff Kreiner and the Texas Rangers. Okay. And I took a screenshot of her profile from our records, and I noticed that these were two of our mutual friends, Heather Cox Bean and Norma Ratliff Barton Chanley. And Heather, I believe, is a preacher's wife over in Hobbs. Norma, I've known for many years from a wealthy family over there in Hobbs. And I have a print screen from her son that was suggesting bribes had been made. I posted that sometime from Bart Barton. I made a video about this address, which looked like it was built by the same people who built my home in Hobbs, that I suspected was also rigged with hidden access. And so I did an in-depth investigation, 2606 Sunset Circle in Hobbs. That was where she was living. And I looked at who lived there before and you know, all the way. And it looked like it's built by the Callaways. The Callaways are who built my home on Roland Meadows. And actually the Callaways, my first wife, my son's mom, is Tammy Calloway, and her parents were Ann and Don Calloway. That's not related to Stephen Calloway and the safety people or whatever. That's a different set of Callaways in Hobbs. But they used to own the lumber company and furniture store there in Hobbs, and back in the 80s built a lot of homes, and they built my home that I lived in Roland Meadows, and they built the one next to it, which they lived in. And then I would later suspect that home was rigged after I moved here. Looking back, my daughter had noticed a light was on in the attic. There's a long story goes with that. And anyways, but here I went ahead and finished this up. This is a short video. At 10:42 p.m. on January 28, 2012, I'm seen crawling out after I was shot by surprise with my phone lines cut. That's a screenshot from a video, or that is the video. At 11:01, 2 law enforcement officers are seen arriving, okay? And then they were identified 6 years later by a private investigator as Martin County Sheriff John Woodward and the late Midland Sheriff Deputy Mike Naylor. And they were 2 of the first secret police to arrive. And then 4 minutes later, 11:05, the police report showed Lieutenant Dickey was inside my home, but he wasn't seen arriving. That told us he came into my home from the underground entrance. But what if these people wasn't the shooter, or what if these police wasn't the shooter and were called there after somebody shot me? What if it was Donnie Cobb and his friend that shot me? If not me, then who did they shoot in Midland? I think these are valid questions, you know. And, you know, the police should be talking to Heather Odonnell. And you know, and being the fact that, you know, these homeowners are documented. I've got a dozen addresses in Midland, Odessa for people reporting somebody in the attic. You know, I saw somebody in my attic. I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going up my attic. You know, I made 100 videos. You know, I put a Vivint alarm system in my attic, went off and dispatched the police to my home. I mean, it's not a what if, could be. This is going on. So I believe Heather Odonnell's telling the truth about somebody in her attic, in case they want to discredit her by going, oh, she thinks somebody in her attic. Well, I bet there is somebody in her attic, you know, and I bet her boyfriend did shoot somebody in Midland, and I want to know who it is. So what I did on this video is me calling out. I superimposed the the 911 call. I went to an information request to the city and asked for the 911 call from the 7-Eleven. And basically, I crawled out, pulled myself in my truck. I drove to the 7-Eleven, and I told the people next to me to call 911. And I've been shot. My foot was on the dash, whatever. So here we're going to watch this video, and I'm gonna start it over.
Midland 911.
Okay, now there's a couple things we're going to listen to it. That's a real short video. We're going to listen to it a couple times. There's some things I want to point out here. One in the video, I want you to watch the headlights of my company car. Okay, and like I said, we're going to start this over. Watch the headlights as I'm crawling out. They're on, headlights on, and then they go off. Okay, and I've wondered if somebody wasn't sitting in my car, they're waiting for me to die so they come in and let the trap burglar out, whatever. But what we know for a fact is mysteriously the lights went off in my company car as I'm crawling out. And I've actually screamed help out here, so I have a feeling whoever was there was heard me. And that car was, since it was a company car, when you turned the engine on, it automatically started the lights. So maybe somebody was sitting in it, had the keys, they were running the car because it was a very cold January night, and I'm just trying to speculate. What I know for a fact is that them lights went off on my car as I'm crawling out. So there's something a lot of people don't even realize. And the other thing, I want you to listen to this 911 call, because what I didn't understand is, how can it start recording before 911 answers the phone? You can hear the phone ringing. Okay, now listen to this. You hear the phone ringing, and then you hear 911 answer. And then how did the city get the recording before they even answered the call? Hear it ringing?
Midland 911.
Okay, did you hear what I'm saying? Now, did somebody explain that to me? I mean, if you call 911, do they somehow record your phone call 5 minutes before you even called? I didn't know that. This is Buddy. Talk to you later.